U.S. Special Forces vs. Cartel Army. Jungle war you've never heard about. In the early hours of a classified mission, 2,000 elite U.S. soldiers were dropped into one of the most dangerous places on Earth. A lawless jungle in northern Mexico ruled not by a government, but by fear. The enemy? A cartel so powerful, so violent, they were known as the Kings of Fire. For decades, they operated beyond the reach of any army, building drug empires, training mercenaries, and executing anyone who stood in their way. But on this day, America said, enough. Operation Iron Fawn was launched in silence. No media, no warnings, just orders. 2,000 U.S. troops, Navy SEALs, Green Berets, Delta Force dropped into hostile territory. Within minutes, gunfire erupted. Within hours, the world would never be the same. Part 1, The Jungle Assault. At precisely 0430 hours, the first wave of American forces hit the ground. Dropping from Blackhawks and Ospreys under the cover of night, 2,000 elite soldiers spread across a 20-mile radius deep in hostile jungle. The mission was simple: infiltrate, eliminate, extract. But nothing ever goes according to plan. As boots hit the ground, all hell broke loose. The cartel knew we were coming. From makeshift towers in the trees, cartel scouts opened fire with AKs and .50 cal rifles. Tripwires triggered IEDs buried beneath banana leaves. The jungle itself was weaponized. 2 U.S. Blackhawks took hits from RPG fire within the first 10 minutes. One spun out near a riverbed. Survivors set up defensive positions while under constant fire. The cartel's fighters moved like guerrillas, slipping through vines and tunnels, blending into the green. But America came prepared. AC-130 gunships circled above, lighting up cartel positions with 105mm cannons. Drones targeted radio towers, bunkers, and drug labs hidden beneath canopies. By the end of Hour 1, over 80 cartel fighters were dead. But the jungle wasn't done fighting back. Part 2, The Cartel Strikes Back. By Hour 2, the jungle was soaked in smoke and blood. But the deadliest fight was just beginning. The cartel had retreated, not in defeat, but in strategy. They were regrouping for a counterattack. Just past dawn, the U.S. perimeter was breached. From hidden tunnels and jungle ravines, the cartel launched a full-scale assault. Armored pickup trucks, narco tanks rolled out of the tree line, welded with steel plates and mounted machine guns. They weren't just drug runners anymore. They were a war machine. Snipers from Delta Force took high ground. SEALs dropped smoke and flashbangs to confuse flanking assaults. A small U.S. team, just 40 soldiers, found themselves pinned down in an abandoned hacienda. Outnumbered 10-1, surrounded. Ammo was running low. Comms were failing. And medevac was impossible through the trees. The only hope, the skies. Above them, the roar of justice came thundering down. AC-130 gunships circled like hawks. Drones lit up cartel trucks with Hellfire missiles. In less than 12 minutes, over 150 cartel fighters were eliminated. But it came at a cost. 14 U.S. soldiers never made it out of that hacienda. And hundreds more were still in the fight. Part 3, The Tunnels and the Final Push. Not because the battle was over, but because the enemy had vanished underground. U.S. recon teams discovered what they had feared most. A vast, hand-dug tunnel system carved deep beneath the cartel's jungle compound. This wasn't just a hideout. It was a fortress. Inside the tunnels, it was a different kind of war. Close quarters. No visibility. Booby traps on every wall. Some tunnels were barely wide enough to crawl through. Others opened into fully operational labs loaded with weapons, narcotics, and data servers. But what shook even the most hardened operators were the prisoners, women, children, civilians. Some had been underground for months. Held like property. Forgotten by the world. The cartel knew their end was near. In a final act of desperation, they set fire to the eastern tunnels, collapsing passages behind them to trap the advancing forces. U.S. engineers worked fast, clearing rubble, rerouting oxygen, evacuating the wounded. By the time the dust settled, the fortress was in U.S. hands. The most dangerous cartel compound on Earth was dismantled. Operation Iron Fawn was complete.